Hey guys, here we are, and here's the gear. I have a Stirling Black Cherry. This is what Stirling samples look like. It's 1 whole ounce of saving soap. Often that'll get you about a month's worth of uses. Great way to go if you're just starting out. We're going to be using the Wizamet Super Iridium Extra Stainless. Going to be putting it inside the Wolfman WR2, and this is the 85 gap. And I just wanted something comfy on my face today, so we went big softy. And this is a Stirling High Mountain White. I believe it's the 57 millimeter loft. And I can't remember the diameter, 26, 24, I don't remember. 20, I mean, it looks bigger than a 24. All right. I chose Black Cherry because that specific scent goes really well with tobacco. Cherry tobacco is a pretty common scent in the shaving world, a popular combo. Now, this blade has been used a good many times, so it looks like 17. And today, when I got finished with work, I don't know if I mentioned it on my channel or not, but I ordered some cigars a while back. I decided to get into, to order a sampler and see if I liked smoking cigars. You don't inhale, and so, the nicotine doesn't get in you like cigarettes do. And so that's the reason why I decided to give it a shot. A friend, several years ago, a friend let me try one of his cigars. It was really nice. And so I figured, hey. So I went online, found a sampler at a cigar website. It looked like a good price, looked like good quality. They're a Punch brand, and it's a strong brand in general, but some of the other samplers they had that I thought was were going to be more kind of friendly were out of stock. And I often like strong flavors, strong scents in the shaving world. I like things like Port-au-Prince and oud and leather and wood and all these type of midnight stag shaving sphere here is what we're talking about. And so I thought, hey, why not try? And instead of ordering, since I didn't have a mid-range sampler or a sampler that encompassed bold and also mild in a big way, I didn't want to just go with a mild sampler. So I kind of erred on the side of bold. And so I smoked my first one today. I think I did well. It had a good draw. A good burn on it. Even I could be using the wrong terminology. I think a draw is the individual puff that you do, and so I think I lit it well. That can be a challenge sometimes, and I think but it did really well for 75% of the way through the cigar, and then toward the end, that last quarter, I was starting to feel a little nauseated, and I just wanted to kind of sit down, lay down, if you will. It was also really cold outside. It's like 34 degrees outside, And so I just came in really cold. Well, it turns out the reason I was getting nauseated, one of the popular reasons is my stomach was empty. You're not supposed to, it's not advised to smoke a robust cigar on an empty stomach. Causes your blood sugar to drop is one of the things, and so I think I made a new mistake there. So we'll see. And so I wanted to have a cigar friendly scent, so we've got the Black Cherry. Also wanted to celebrate Stirling. I'm going to use a bunch of Stirling products in the next several days, like I have in the past here, because this is their 10th anniversary month, and they have so many great products. Why not take this opportunity to use them? So the 85 gap razor here has the blade ready. Let me get my face wet. I have already pressed over 1/4 of a teaspoon of the black cherry into the lather bowl. It is a soap that's the sample there, as you could see. It's in the cellophane and it hasn't been stored in a Ziploc or anything. And so the little cutout that I made of it several months ago when I tried it for the first time has been open. And so it's had a chance to lose some of that moisture and probably a little bit of the scent strength. I'm not picking up a ton of scent strength here, but big deal. I know it's going to perform great. And I thought that'd be a great thing to enjoy because I tell you what, it's been 5, 6 hours, 7 hours, and I've had a meal and I've had snacks and I guess it got the smoke. I was outside, but the smoke it's been with me for this whole time. So I think I'm gonna need to choose cigars that I enjoy the smell of a lot because it's gonna linger, right? So I even smell it now. Um, and that particular cigar that I tried, it was from Punch, Gran Puro Rancho, I believe, and it has hints of cinnamon, which sometimes bothers me in shaving products. Just the scent, not really an allergy thing. But the what bothered me about it was a little bit of kind of a pepper note throughout, and I don't like a lot of pepper in my shaving products. It's really funny how many parallels there are here because this is the scent world, right? And so these cigars have scents and tastes, and so there are some similar notes that if I don't like it in the shaving world, I bet there's some guarantee that I'm not going to like some of those scents in the cigar world either. And an overly peppery one, which is what kind of today's turned out. I thought it was a good smoke to start out with. I was guessing, of course, whether I would like it or not. I think it was a good one to guess on. It wasn't too strong or robust. It wasn't too intense. It was just a little bit too peppery for me. And so I chose the black cherry to kind of smooth out that kind of peppery tobacco thing that's been on me for the last several hours. So let me get my face wet. There were definitely some other scents that I have in my repertoire, like Full Measure of Man, very tobacco, of course. Tobacconist from Mammoth is nearby, and I'm going to use that one soon. But I just decided to stick with Stirling for now, celebrating them. And it's too bad at this location I don't have my Haverford. That's a good tobacco scent from Stirling. All right, but we're going with black cherry, and I think that actually might be nicer than the Haverford would be because it's helping to take the tobacco and kind of divert it, whereas Haverford is very tobacco. All right. Shaking out a lot of the water from the brush. I have a new camera position today. Here I am in this location, and the camera's a little farther away, so you have a wider view, and hopefully my audio, the volume is loud enough. I have if you're a faithful watcher, over a few weeks ago when I was broadcasting from this location, it spilled down into my shave gear, and I don't want my phone to end up in my basin of water. And so we're on a tripod, a little mini kind of tripod, and so we're gonna make adjustments later, but that's what's going on right now. So I'm gonna take this lightly wet brush. The tripod also kind of has to be tilted manually, not quite as easy as the other ball-mounted clip. This one's ball-mounted, but it requires me to kind of untwist a knob to loosen it and then retwist and all that stuff. So it's kind of late in the night. and I've got a lot of work to do, so I'm going to be lazy, and the wider field of view here, of course, lets me be able to kind of show you the bowl of lather anyway, if I hold it up. You know, a lot of guys will, even when they bowl lather, they'll probably hold the bowl down to maybe their navel, the belly button level. But basically ever since I've been doing this, I've been broadcasting and recording, and I always want to show you guys my lather. So it's actually kind of a strange experience for me to not hold it up really high. It feels weird. Let's add some water. We're going to get lots of lather because Stirling doesn't need me to use a 1/4 teaspoon, and I use more than that. This is a big, soft, luxurious type brush. I think Seth, a recent viewer, got one of these, and he said he didn't agree with him at first, but then he used it some more, and it settled in. And then I think he was really enjoying it. But I think in the end, he decided that maybe he wanted something with a little bit more backbone. And so, yeah, this guy is on the lighter backbone category. I don't think he's floppy. I think he's backbone. He's just light, like maybe 3 or 4 out of 10. Probably not 4. Probably just a solid 3 out of 10 in terms of backbone. And that's what I want right now. And already got some nice looking lather. And that's with about 15 milliliters put in. I have 2 days of growth. At least 1.5. Been kind of a long day. Oh, but I put a Wi-Fi repeater here in my little rental place, and so next time I have to go live, next time I want to do a live broadcast, I shouldn't have any of those bandwidth problems with a slow internet. So that's good. Now I have been using nice elastic lather here. I've been using the Pearl Flexi lately, and I'm going to bounce back and forth between the 5 and the 7, maybe once or twice, 1 or 2 more kind of volleys there, so that I can just kind of see if the 5 and the 7 work the same, feel the same, before I send the 5 back. But since I was mowing down a little bit more than average growth, that's good looking stuff right there, I thought I would switch and just use another razor for now. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Let's go with that. Stirling's a great soap and takes the water really well. And so you can get it kind of as wet as you want it, and it'll still hold on really well. It'll still hold together. All right, get my face wet one more time. The tripod came with a Bluetooth shutter controller, and I thought, man, that's going to be cool, because when I reach up to touch the button, you know, on the screen, sometimes it shakes the camera. Sometimes if my finger's wet, has a little drop of water on it, it affects it. Sometimes I touch it. I come so close to touching it that it actually touches, it registers the touch without me physically touching it. And then I move in and touch it again, and so it pauses and then restarts it, you know. And so I thought having a separate button would be really cool. But it turns out, as I add a few more drops of water here to the brush, Turns out that doesn't govern the pause video feature. It just governs the start video feature. Now, as you can see, we've got plenty of lather growing up around my goatee, around the extra spots in my face here and around on the brush, and we have lost a few clods. And like I told you, I put plenty of Stirling soap in this bowl to start off with, and so it's no surprise that I'm having to fend off a lot of lather right now. So, but at least I can use the button to start the recording and then stop it, you know, at the end. So at least there's that. Yeah, we're getting nice, easy splay, soft. The tips aren't crazy soft like on a good finest badger that's really well gelled, you know. It's not that soft, but it's kind of a natural soft, and I really enjoy it. A few more drops. Just to kind of head it in the right direction. It's changing it, but changing it slowly. So in a way, it's almost more a psychological change than a real lather change. And again, we're making more lather. I can still smell that tobacco around me. Some of the tobacco scents, cherry tobacco, shaving soap scents, and aftershave scents are really some of my favorites. And so this is a very kind of robust and dry type tobacco scent. It's definitely not on the sweet side. And then with the pepper, I think that's really what did it. So I'm going to keep a log of which ones that why I didn't like it, and that way I won't order that one again. But in general, everything went really well. I don't know if I'll be smoking in the summer when it's hot outside, and like even in the evenings, but we'll see. All right, it feels great. The Wizamet comes in this type of tuck. Wizamet Super Iridium. They're the same people who make the Pearl Silver, and there are enough people online worth mentioning to say that they think it's the same as the Pearl Silver, but it doesn't seem to be. I like it, and it shaves well, just like the Pearl Silver shaved me well. It seems to work well in a lot of different razors, just like the Pearl Silver. But somebody did a really high-power microscope scan of these two exact blades, and it's evident about anybody that the bevels are definitely different. But because since they came from the same company and they both have Super Iridium, it's logical to think that they might be just renamed or rebranded, blade. Good bit of blade feel here, but that's kind of normal. The setup is not just easily mowing down the growth. I can definitely feel it, but it's a very minor, kind of comfortable kind of tugging. It's not really a big deal. And it's going to feel great after this first pass, now that so much of the length has been taken down. Well, I tell you what, I like the fact that the tripod is holding the camera very solidly. I'm not getting any camera shake when I reach up and touch the button. So I like that about it already. I think I'm going to kind of extend my shelf out a little bit so that the tripod can sit on a piece of wood that's extended. So you guys will be a little closer, I think. Or I may keep you at this distance and get like a microphone. See if the purchase of a boom microphone just surely a basic one, you know, would help out. Now that we have rehydrated my face, then this lather that I was having to add some water to, now it's kind of in the perfect state now. That happens a lot. Cross grain again, or I mean cross grain now for the first time since it's the second pass. It is adding an enjoyable slight cherry scent to kind of the air around me, and that's nice. This is probably not the best blade with this razor, at least in terms of the shave I'm experiencing right now, but it's very good. It's doing the job well, and it's reasonably comfortable. It's not buttery smooth, but this razor hasn't really been buttery smooth with too many blades. A little kind of half rinse there, and ready to put on the third pass. And yeah, we do have kind of a concentrate going on here, but because of the extra wetness I left on my face, it should be just fine. And yeah, you can see I've probably got 3 more passes of lather here in the bowl still. But what I wanted to do was try to maximize the scent of the black cherry. I had my humidor arrive today. For my cigar, I had to light it using, because my other products didn't arrive until later, my kind of jet torch lighter that I ordered off Amazon. I haven't gotten the fuel yet. I think I'll get that tomorrow. So I just used a normal Scripto kind of butane lighter. I just had to use a sharp knife to cut the tip off, because my little guillotine style cigar cutter arrived later in the day as well, but I've picked that up now. Another Amazon thing. I like Amazon in this sense because you can kind of check the reviews. They do have cheap stuff that you shouldn't buy, but in a lot of cases the reviews will kind of bear that out if you read enough of them. All right, face feels great. Still got plenty of lather here. Why don't I use this to polish up, just lightly as always, holding the razor very loosely, very lightly, just tight enough to keep safe control over it, but loose enough to where it rides over the skin with a great deal of gentleness, so that if I hit a bump that I'm not planning for, it will ride on the surface of the bump instead of bending the skin or trying to go through the bump. All right, well, there we go. A black cherry shave. That's nice. You know, compared to the peppery tobacco that I had today, the Mammoth Tobacconist might have been a good one to use. Full Measure of Man is a sweeter tobacco, and I really like that. Based on my general impressions, first of Mammoth Tobacconist versus Full Measure of Man, I like that sweet aspect of Barrister and Man's Offering better. But I've only used the Tobacconist once. I need to use it more and see how everything goes. Check my shave out on the mirror. Yeah, nice close shave. So get kind of a final rinse and then a cleanup. In the end, we used up 18, 19 milliliters of water. And, I dribbled several times on the brush. The first pass was a little bit, could have used a little bit more water, but then because the water I added to my face, the second and third passes were pretty much perfect. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. All right, had a nice good rinse here. Face felt great. Really happy with the closeness here today and the comfort as well. This blade, like I told you, wasn't just super easy cutting, but we are looking at 17. Use number 18 now is what today's was. And that's still kind of low for a lot of blades, but maybe this one is just not really configured in a way with the bevels and stuff to work quite as well with this razor. Sterling Gentleman is a great scent that I really enjoy. I am confident it's got some tobacco notes in there. And so I bet maybe we can steer the tobacco scent with this one. Make it more friendly because I'm still kind of smelling it, guys. It's really funny. I may, there's the phrase smoking jacket. And as I was thinking, earlier, where is this smell coming from? Is it just all over my face? What's the deal? And I realized, well, I mean, even though I was blowing it out, surely I got some back pressure and maybe there's some on my clothing. And so maybe smoking jacket, maybe I should pick a certain outer garment, like if my family doesn't like that cigar type smell, which they probably don't, then maybe I should pick a different outer jacket to wear when I go outside and smoke cigars. All right, there we go. Gentlemen, oh, that's a great scent. Wow. Of course, it's going great with the tobacco that's around. Oh, that's nice. That is an underrated scent, in my opinion. Okay, well, the Stirling brush was terrific today. The Wolfman here, this WR2, and the blade, it was an okay pairing. I've told you about that in this shave already. No need to go into more detail. The black cherry had a light scent to it, performed well, as does all of the beef tallow soaps from Stirling, and the mutton tallow behaved even better. And that pretty much covers everything. Speaking of the mutton tallow, a couple of the soaps that I have earmarked for use up in upcoming times. The Fascali is a 2021 fall release, the Black Friday type release, seasonal release that, and I did confirm with Rod that is the same scent as R for L, Responders for Life. A couple years ago, that was a benefit that was done, and that's the same scent as Fresh Vetiver from Fine Accoutrements. And both of those scents are dupes or inspired by Tom Ford Gray Vetiver. Wonderful. I really like it. It's one of my top scents ever. And in the past, I've only been able to point people to Fine Accoutrements Fresh Vetiver because the R for L sold out quickly and it's hard to find. And so now that Sterling has released Fascali, hopefully they keep it as a part of their normal rotation. Hopefully people realize what it is so that they'll put it as a part of their rotation because it's just a top scent. And so I do have that one coming. And also another cologne-inspired scent. I think this one was from last year as well. Oh, and let me finish the story. He released the Fascali, Faskally. Don't know where the name comes from. He released that this past fall because enough time had passed with the Responders for Life release to where he He didn't feel like he was bastardizing that charity, pulling sales away from them because it had been out for quite a long time now and he's not making that one anymore, that sort of thing. So I just speak so well of Stirling. It's just quality folks there. He didn't want to shaft a charity with a popular scent, and so he waited. I hope he gets rewarded with lots of sales on Foscale. I definitely bought the cologne and the soap myself. I think I even bought the shower bar soap. All right. And so, not this past season, but the one before that, the fall of 2020, I believe is when the Iniquity for Him came out. And I finally got some of that in a mystery box that I purchased. And so it's one that wasn't a blind buy for me because it didn't really jump out to me as the notes was something I wanted to try. And sometimes the cologne dupes from Stirling can be lightly scented, but this one seems nice. It's definitely a nice scent, but it seems like it might even be strong enough. And then the Glastonbury was from the Mutton Base. I already showed you this one. And that has the patchouli and things like that in it. That'll be enjoyable. And that Mutton Base is just amazing. Now this, with its kind of earthiness, would have been a nice match for the grassiness, earthiness, mossiness, patchouliness. I think would have been a decent match for the tobacco heaviness of my current situation. All right, well, there we go. That's today's shave. Great to be back here again with you guys. Time to get back to work. Might be an all-nighter today. So there we go. The Wolfman was a good choice. Next time we'll try a different blade with it, and I'll register that this one is not, at least at this age, it's not a great blade. At least for me with it. So there we go. The Wizamet Super Iridium does really well in a lot of different razors for me. Just not this one. All right, guys, take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. I hope there's been something in this video to help you out. And maybe I'll bring an occasional cigar mention if I try something that I particularly enjoy or something like that. Good night.